Right, y'all. So let's move on. And let's talk about Don Lemon and Wendy Williams. How you doing? So according to reports, and that report would be from Rob Shooter over on his Substack, which I'm sorry, but like the last Substack he did, I'm gonna call cap on this story too. They said that Wendy and Don Lemon are plotting their big network TV comebacks after both being fired from their previous gigs. You know, he was once over on CNN. He got his $25 million payment because he didn't finish out his contract. And then Wendy got fired. You know, they canceled her show over on uh, Fox after she stopped showing up for work. And so shout out to Radar Online for this story because that's where I heard about it. Now, Lemon, who's 59, has been off TV since being fired from CNN after his controversial on-air comments about former Republican president candidate Nikki Haley being past her prime. And I've heard a lot of people say worse, but of course, this is, whatever. Williams, who's 60, retired from broadcasting after being diagnosed with aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, but has spent the last 3 years living under a legal guardianship that oversees both her finances and health. According to Hollywood Insider, I should say, Rob Shooter, who writes on Substack, the pair are ready to reclaim their careers. He said, they're great friends. They are serious about teaming up for a new project. Don and Wendy both have big personalities and love the idea of shaking things up on TV again. The industry sources say a team up would lead to a new talk program with a combination of the hard-hitting interviews Lemon is known for and hot topics and energy only Wendy can bring. The two are said to be brainstorming ideas how now and finalizing concepts to shop to networks. Last month, they were spotted having dinner together at Il Cantonori in New York City. Lemon later talked about the evening on his eponymous YouTube show. He called his dinner date a foodie and added, Wendy was like, I'm going to eat everything, Don, because the food where I'm at is awful. Well, Wendy has always been kind of a foodie. I don't know where you've been with that, but she's always said that she's a foodie. Okay, so I take it back a little bit. I will say this. I thought y'all were trying to make a plot for a comeback on network TV. But a show with Wendy and Don, I could definitely see that happening, especially where you have Wendy Williams, who's got the gift of gab, and a homosexual like Don Lemon, who I think is doing relatively well on his own YouTube channel. So I like what he's doing over there. And I was sitting there saying, like, why would you even want to go backwards? Like, to me, doing independent stuff is way more effective. Like what I do. This is independent what I'm doing. I'm not on no network. I can come on and do a show as much, for as long as I want. I answer to myself. I don't have a boss. Like, and that's what I feel like is the great thing. I wish I had like a bunch of producers that can help with all the bells and whistles. But for the most part, I'm a one-man band and a one-man personality. So all of this is being programmed by me. The pictures, the lower third, the videos that I'll be bringing all the clips for y'all to watch. The opinion is mine, of course. Excuse me, and the articles. So I like what Don Lemon is doing over there with his own show. I think he does a show twice a day on YouTube, which I was even thinking maybe I should start doing that too, like a twice a day type of show. But if you have people that can help you put that together, then it's easier for you to do that rather than me having to prepare every topic and come on and talk about it. So now, Lemon was abruptly fired from CNN on April 2023 after 17 years with the network, following controversial comments, tense interviews, and reports that the host's own colleagues had privately expressed concerns about his behavior, which probably is the usual typical, when you're a queer person of color, especially, I'll even speak for myself, when I'm at a point in my life where I'm just like, I'm tired of the BS, I'm tired of playing the game, when you've been at a job for a long period of time, that's a low key, the energy you putting out there is like, you want to quit, but if you quit, you ain't gonna get that severance. You ain't, you don't, but if they fire you, you can get unemployment, you can get all that other stuff. So you low key not happy where you are. And I feel like that's what was going on with Don. Don wasn't happy at being at CNN. He was tired of BS. He was probably putting that energy and taking it out on a whole lot of people. And that's what resorted in the firation of him over there. And with a lot of, especially a lot of these liberal networks, with the way the country was going in the past 10 years, with the Trumpism of everything, even when Trump wasn't president, his influence was affecting a lot of things, and people were walking on eggshells. People was feeling a little sensitive. You say any little thing, it's going to get you fired. So there was a lot of that was going on. Everybody's so reactionary when it comes to, well, we have to discipline this person because there's been accusations of this coming out and that coming out. So yeah, now since he was fired, he has gone on to host his own news program on various social media platforms such as YouTube and Twitter. Because remember, at one point he was supposed to be doing it up under, I think, Elon Musk, but then he did the Elon Musk interview, and then Elon Musk canceled whatever it is, the deal I guess they were going to have, which I guess is a blessing in disguise because Don didn't lead him anyway. He's got sponsors and all the other stuff that donate, and I'm sure people give super chats and things of that nature, which is kind of like what I do over here. Like some people send me super chats, some people send, I get the, based off the ad revenue from YouTube, I get paid off of the ads and stuff on the videos that I post. So that's basically where the income comes from, and plus all my other jobs that I have. Now, Williams recently sparked a high-stakes bidding war for her first major on-camera sit-down interview since she was put under the legal guardianship. Well, I definitely want to see that interview because, she's been talking everywhere, but she hasn't had like that real big sit-down where somebody can actually talk to her. She's been doing phone calls. She basically has launched a legal fight for her freedom, claiming she does not suffer from cognitive issues while demanding a court-ordered conservatorship to be lifted. So with all of this going on, I will say this. I believe the part that, maybe Dawn and Wendy are brainstorming ideas. I do think that they could do a show together where they talk hot topics and things of that nature. But what needs to happen is she's got to let her get out of this guardianship. Let her attorney, who is ASAP Rocky's former attorney, that got him off this previous case that he was caught up in, let him get her out of that. And then once you're done, then you can collaborate and come up with an idea and do a show together. Because I definitely think a show with Don Lemon and Wendy Williams would work, where they do like a hot topic type thing. I don't know mentally how many episodes would she be up for if she could do like maybe once a week. And if everything goes well, then you could bump it up to twice a week. And you can put it, I wouldn't even go there in regards of like a network, because network TV is trash right now. They cancel so many great things right now, and the direction, they're still stuck in their old ways. So if Wendy and Donald wanted to do a show on YouTube, on his YouTube channel, where you give her a show, y'all do a show together, it's sort of like, you have your morning show where you do your, the Don Lemon show, and then you have Don and Wendy, or whatever you want to call it. So I definitely could see like y'all doing that. But I feel like you're doing really well on YouTube. You can pretty much say what you want to say without a bunch of legacy media overlords controlling what you can and cannot inform the audience about politically and all that other stuff. And you got enough money. You got your $25 million payout. Wendy's got her money, although, with everything that's been going on, people robbing her blind and stuff. And who knows what Sabrina doing her damn money. She could probably use a little boost in her income. So there's way more freedom in being independent than going to legacy media. So I actually hope that this is, that's the direction that they plan on going into. So shout out to you, Wendy. Shout out to Dawn. I did say in the beginning that I didn't necessarily believe this story. I wouldn't believe it if it was on a network situation, but I could believe that these two would actually join forces to put a show together. So shout out to you all, and shout out to Rob Shooter for this story over on his Substack. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Do you believe that that Don Lemon and Wendy Williams would be a good idea for them to have a talk show together? So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.